Good evening, everyone. It is May 10th. May 10th in Senate Economic Development. We're back for a brief time before hopefully closing out tonight. And we do have one last bill to go over, but before we do that, on behalf of all of our committee members, especially those who aren't here, and everyone who's got to know you at the State House, it's been a privilege for us. You've been amazing. You're a quick study. You know exactly what people need. You bring joy and light, and you're extremely talented. So
You're always smiling, a place where that shouldn't be the case.
obviously, we would love to see you again in the State House, but we also recognize that we get young, talented people maybe only for so long in these roles. So we hope to be part of your future and whatever else you do, or maybe have you in one of these seats one day. But maybe now you see that it's not that.
The girl.
Not everybody cracked up to be.
So this girl from Windsor's gonna go off and see the wide world and adventure. And so on your way, we have a few items both to keep us in your hearts and in your kitchen. And it immediately helps indulge you in something wonderful. So
Thank you so much. I'll miss you guys a lot. Thank you. We would miss you. But you know where we are. I don't even go anywhere. So come see us.
yes, you know how to find it.
Thank you. Thank you for getting us through a very.
We have
tough year.
loved having you about you, but not only
God.
quick study. The people's
house.
state has even have hors d'oeuvres. You
Just in case that you needed like a wall plate.
I use it all the time.
Oh,
I
my
use
goodness. Toast, salad,
anything.
ice cream.
You could buy 11 more and have a whole set.
It's true. Thank you guys.
As a board member of Friends of the State House, I support that. And then you have to open more than you have the State House team now.
Okay. Lovely to
Which you always need for cleaning out, not our messes, but your messes. And something for a real.
Thank you, guys.
Does
That
it
is
say where
so
it's located?
lovely. It does.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
It's a gift certificate to a fabulous restaurant.
Delicious.
Honey Row.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go. Oh my gosh, you're perfect.
Oh, well, this
Exciting.
should get you there.
Yeah, thank you
And
guys.
maybe just
Wonderful.
And those are for you to accompany you on your next adventure.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't be a stranger. I will not, obviously.
You have just been terrific. An island of calm and a sea of chaos.
Are you gonna stay all evening?
I am, I believe so.
Wow, and I've always appreciated that you are on the floor watching, paying attention.
It's been great. They were on a slideshow. She and Kiki, because they're always up in the
Yeah, tell Kiki we take her out to dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
But tell her we love her too. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
all right,
He's here.
I am here.
We have
We appreciate
an amendment to page 121 data privacy. I say we. I should tell you that I know Senator Lyons and Senator Hashi want to be on it.
Okay.
But we can also decide if others want to be on it as well. So
You wanna be on?
Sure.
so you have those three names.
Do you want to be on it? No.
He did help me with Representative Marcotte, so he did his part. I don't use his name to be a banger for that. So.
For
Well-
team background.
It's it, yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
So, we have tentative agreement with the House, on H121.
Is this gonna be posted?
Sorry?
Will this be posted?
I can send to you, and could I also get a Zoom link?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, finance in 2 minutes.
I can describe this quickly, if you want me to just describe it, and then we
Yeah.
can post it.
I think you're both doing fine.
We're both doing finance.
So,
Four.
so this makes two, this will be posted, so I'll just tell you what's in there. This makes two changes to the definition section, so that's gonna be your first instance of amendment. And those are included for purposes of the hospitals, the
Right.
HIPAA regulated entities exemption. So those two definitions are healthcare components, which it just says has the same meaning as in HIPAA, and hybrid entities.
Which is what we had in our version 7.
That's the amendment that Senate Health and Welfare made. The second instance of amendment is adding that actual exemption. So this is for your HIPAA piece, instead of having a data level exemption. This would be a covered entity that is not a hybrid entity, any healthcare component of a hybrid entity, or a business associate. And just to call out, these are instances of amendment to the House's proposal. So this is unlike this morning where we were doing a strike call. This is instances of amendment to what was received from the House. So that's why you have to make this change here. Otherwise, you would already have this existing exemption. So the second instance of amendment is the HIPAA entity level exemption. The third piece is the House passed amendment has an immediate private right of action. And so this is replacing that section 2427 with to start out with no private right of action with the call out against the fraud statutes, but exclusive authority to enforce violations in the vested in AG. The fourth instance of amendment is a very minor one that we talked about this morning, which is a change to the definition of dark pattern in kids code. I talked about using the word substantial in front of harm. We've removed that word substantial consistent with the intentions of, I think it's CHT, but I think we discussed this morning, not a huge change to this piece. The fifth piece was where kind of the biggest one this morning. This is the study, technically AG to review and report on developing legislative language for implementing a private right of action using the same considerations that we talked about this morning. But there are some new pieces here as well, which is we've included the health and welfare pieces, which is addressing the scope of healthcare exemptions, which is directly responsive as well to what's being included here.
Do you have a printout of it?
This is from when I thought I was reporting it
Yeah.
earlier. I think we're working on,
Okay.
you'll have a copy of, I don't know.
No, I've just asked.
Oh, okay, okay. You can share with me.
That's okay.
I'm reading it too.
I'm actively listening to
Yeah.
John.
Could we
And-
stay with the study?
Yes,
So we had talked about making sure that there is education that begins right away.
so that's not in the amendment, that's in the underlying bill from.
It is.
From.
That's already in the House.
That's already in the House version. And so the place to look for that is to the House version. The amendment will not show that piece. That's where you will look for that piece. The last piece I want to call on the study is what Senator Brock had requested, analysis of the data security implications of implementation of the Vermont Data Privacy Act. So that's been included here.
Wait,
This is on page 20.
okay, I'm trying to sort of highlight things from it forward. Okay. Okay, so I can get that call out. Okay,
Section 9 is your private right of action. So this is amending the existing private right of action that was in the earlier sections. This will come into effect January 1st, 2027, and provides, as discussed before, a private right of action for consumers harmed by a data broker's or large data holder's violation of processing of sensitive data without consent, sale of sensitive data, or what section 2428, the consumer health data pieces. So I think you guys are aware of those pieces, but just calling that out.
We pushed it out 2 years.
That's
We
right.
still have the threshold, 100,000.
Yeah, that's the data brokers or large data holders. So that's where that piece comes in. The threshold that occurs through those definitions. Those are not being changed in
And
right.
we have the study and the sunset.
Yeah, so section 10 is the sunset. This reverts to the initial section 2427 for enforcement and removes that private right of action with the idea that it could be reconsidered at that time. There would be data on the effects. And that is the whole of the amendment.
That's the whole shebang.
That is the whole thing.
Nice.
the effective dates are important.
Yes.
They are because they,
Yes, and I can go through these just to explain. So the first things that come into effect are the public education and outreach piece, which is, again, that's in the underlying. The data broker sections, those fees and penalties. The data broker opt-out study is immediately effective, so the folks can begin conducting that. And then the study that was developed today related to private right of action, data security practices, and healthcare exemptions, that also begins immediately. The Data Privacy Act itself and Kids Code would take effect a year later, so July 1st, 2025. Then we talk about the step downs. So there's a middle applicability threshold, that's July 1st, 2026, so a year out from effectiveness.
What is that even, I mean, I haven't explained the House bill to anybody, we did never talk about middle threshold.
Yep, it's just going from the 25 down to the 12.5.
Right.
So that's the thresholds. The next one is the low applicability, which is in July 1, 2027.
And we can, we're back, we can.
Yes, and I told Representative Marcotte that I don't like the idea of just stepping down, but it forces us to look at it.
On the other hand, he doesn't necessarily like a sunset, so it's
He
kind of
doesn't
all,
like the pushing out of the PRA at all.
yeah, we're just.
So low applicability is 0?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's initially, it's what the House initially proposed, basically.
Right.
So instead of starting, 65, I don't know.
That's 25 down to 6,500 down.
25 down to 12 point, it doesn't go to 0 ever. It's 25 down to 12.5 down to half
And the
that,
6 point.
6,125 is the end point.
6,250?
120.
125.
But that's not half, that's what.
So we started 25, 12.5, yeah, that must be right, then, 6250. And I can check, so doing half each time, but it stops there. So what they did is they accepted the Senate proposal to start with 25, and they
Right.
moved down to what they wanted to start with.
Okay. That time of year, give and take.
The private right of action, that's section 9, comes into effect January 1st, 2027. And then the repeal of that private right of action, January 1st, 2029.
Forcing us back
Mhm.
to make decisions.
So right now I have Lyons, Hashi, and Clarkson to add to the amendment.
Yes.
I guess we could take a vote.
Well,
I don't,
it would be good
it
to
would be,
get,
we'll do informal and then I'll just find them on the floor.
I'm a very formal, informal yes.
Okay, Thunder Rock. This is the amendment, but
That has your piece in it.
Yeah, well,
it does have the PRA in it.
But a very-
Fine.
The House came towards us a bit on that, quite a bit on that.
so, yeah,
Right.
no,
Mhm. So we'll get the other votes, but that's 2, 1, 2 right now.
And we will get Wendy the minute she's out.
Well, yeah, we'll go to finance, we'll probably find people before.
And you can just put your head, we can put our heads in I've got-
Institution,
institutions.
okay.
Okay,
I think I'll just say for clarity's sake for John, we'll leave the list of signatories at that.
And I'm happy to, I'll go ahead and make those changes, but I'm happy if anyone tells you guys, just email me as soon as you can.
I would just say
Okay.
print it and get it ready.
print it, we need, and then give it to Bloomer, because they like to print it in their own way.
Sounds good. Okay, we can
Okay,
do that.
thank you so much, John, you've been
Thank you,
a saint.
thank you, everybody. We're slouching towards Bethlehem.
I mean,
Welcome
if
towards
we
something.
enjoy doing it, we can come back next week and we can
Mhm.
continue.
So I don't wanna give away how I felt about this, but I really don't wanna come back next week for this, so.
I also don't wanna come back on the bill next year, hence we've made this change because
Yep.
we're not ready in 6 months to pick this again.
Yep.
Nope, I'm not sure we are. So we are looking forward to it all moving forward. It's a good start. It's a great start on data privacy and kids go. So I think we have to look at it that way.
Yes, hopefully
So-
the house will
You're going